normal plan for our state.
Fox 7 News' Marisa Oberle joining us live tonight from downtown Grand Rapids with a closer look at what this means for returning back to work in person. Marisa?
Yeah, Janice and Derek, that 55% benchmark is the first of 4 outlined in a plan that would eventually lift all restrictions. Now, under this 55% goal, in 2 Mondays, we're on May 24th, people will be able to go back to the office. No employees and empty conference rooms. It's not how HR Collaborative envisioned using this downtown Grand Rapids office space when they moved into it last February, a month before the coronavirus pandemic began.
You know, we had been using the new spaces, we were excited about it, and then we had to find new ways of working. But
more than a year later, the new normal for employees is set to change. On Monday, Michigan reached a milestone, surpassing a 55% COVID-19 vaccination rate, meaning the state's remote work rule, which says people must do so when feasible, will ease up in 2 weeks.
As restrictions are lifted, we can bring people back in a way that's comfortable for them. So really listening to where they're at and acknowledging that and having empathy with that is a big part of that. So, and then just being agile, really trying different things, seeing how they work and quickly adapting.
HR Collaborative plans to bring all workers back by July, but says some of the organizations they work with intend to do so as soon as possible. Brickner lists pulse surveys, reconfiguring spaces in staggering schedules as ways companies are preparing. According to the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, employers must continue to implement mitigation strategies outlined by MIOSHA, like masking and routine cleaning. The agency says it can modify or rescind rules as the pandemic moves closer to an end.
Are anxious to get our people back into our downtown.
Rick Baker in the Grand Rapids Chamber petitioned the state earlier this spring to reopen offices, saying businesses invest in their workspaces in remote work can sometimes affect productivity and morale. He adds nearby restaurants and shops miss out on the economic opportunity of an employee stopping in.
Although this is all good news, we're still a little frustrated that this is all being put on the back of the business community, you know, to put people's livelihoods, the business owners' livelihoods and other people's livelihoods for not being able to go to work in the hands of a few that choose not to get vaccinated. I think is unfortunate. I think there's other measurements we could look at as far as activity rates and hospitalization.
Now, the state's next vaccination goal is 60%, and under that, capacity limits for places like banquet halls and conference centers will be increased. The 11 p.m. curfew in place for bars and restaurants would also be lifted. We did reach out to the governor's office to see if they have any timeline as to when the state will reach that vaccination goal, but have not heard back tonight. Reporting live in Grand Rapids, Marisa Oberle, Fox 7.